I've just spent the last few days in Mykonos at an event called Geek Out with some of the best affiliates, e-commerce entrepreneurs and marketers, and in this video I'm going to break down the 6 biggest takeaways. Before I go into it, the first thing I have to say is that this place is absolutely beautiful, as you can see from behind me. It is a little bit windy, but that comes with Mykonos. There's nothing you can do about that. You gotta embrace it. That's why we got the mic setup going here. So I'm gonna break down the 6 biggest takeaways from the last few days, and this is from talking to a lot of different people and going into all of the keynotes, presentations, all that sort of stuff. And this is for where I'm at right now, but this is gonna be very relevant if you're in e-commerce, you're an affiliate, entrepreneur, or a marketer, okay? So other than getting to travel to beautiful places and meet great people, that is not on this because I made another video about that. But the first one is just how important it is to truly understand copywriting and understand the fundamentals. So I highly recommend, if you're watching this, if you're in e-commerce or even you're an entrepreneur or a marketer, make sure you go back and read books like Breakthrough Advertising from Eugene Schwartz, and really just like understanding true copywriting. Like for us as a retention agency, you know, primarily email before, and we're really pivoting now into retention. And now that AI is becoming more and more popular, people are leveraging it, people are potentially, you know, gonna reduce their staff, and you know, they mightn't even have a copywriter. It might just be all AI written copy. I think it's more important than ever to actually double down on copywriting. So I was chatting to a couple of people that went through this one program, and they said it's probably one of the best in regards to copywriting fundamentals and how you can also leverage AI. So the first thing that I done, this was actually before the event even started, I spent $1,000 on a course and sent it to some people on the team. Because if you think about email and retention, you know, other than your setup, it's a lot of copy, okay? It's one of the most important things. I think a lot of people are gonna let their foot off the gas, and it's our time to double down on copy and, you know, make it one of the most important things inside of our company. So the next thing is the opportunity on other ad platforms. The thing is, a lot of our clients advertise in a lot of different places. You have TikTok, you have obviously Meta, Snapchat, then you have Google, and that comes with a lot of different placements and stuff like that. But generally, people don't go outside of that. And you want to look at what are the other platforms. And the thing is, this ranges on your demographic. So if you're a younger demographic, maybe you want to be putting your spend into TikTok and Snapchat and places like that. But if you have an older demographic, why not look at platforms like Bing, or you can also look at Native, you can look at AppLovin, okay? And there's actually so many of these other platforms, and some of these platforms, once you build a relationship with them, because they're new and early days, they can give you a lot of credits. You can build up a good credit line with them. So I highly recommend looking at these, and you can get a much lower cost of advertising compared to Meta, which is probably one of the most expensive, especially in the US. So have a look at these other platforms, have a look at Taboola, and have a look at where else can you advertise. And once again, this all depends on what you're selling, but definitely have a look at it. There's a high chance that you'll be able to get a much lower CPA on some of these platforms once you crack them. The next thing, and this was really good, this was just really interesting, it was a presentation by Vaughn, and he was just talking about how giveaways, and mainly in the US, I'm not sure on the, you know, the compliance and the legal side of things outside of the US, but he was just talking about if you run giveaways alongside your brand, and this can be a separate offer. You can do this during times like Black Friday, or you can just do this all year round. For his example, he was giving away a car and a big prize or a big cash prize on top of selling products, and you can see his CPM got cut in half, his cost to acquire customer reduced massively, and overall people are just spending more money. And if you get them on subscription for that as well, there's just so much opportunity there. And it's just really interesting where this is just something where he had a brand that was selling one thing, and he was like, how can we get this more profitable? How can we make more money out of this? And just by adding in this giveaway and running this up, I think it was a 400% increase. And, you know, and that's month over month. And he was literally showing us a live example of his own store. And he's also done this for a lot of his clients as well. If you have any questions on that, reach out to me. I'll be able to connect you. But doing giveaways, you have to make sure that it's relevant to your audience. You don't just want to do a random giveaway, but if you have the right brand and if it's mainly male audience, then you have a lot of opportunity there. And like when I was watching it, it was just like I was just getting excited. I was like, damn, we got to test this with some of our clients. Okay, the next thing, and people probably already know this already, but it's just kind of, you know, just talking about how important it is to just test more creatives, and mainly on the Facebook side. So Facebook's algorithm has recently changed, and one of my friends, Nick, actually done a presentation on this, and he was talking about Meta is actually able for 10,000 times more creatives now compared to in November. So it's able to test so many more ads and basically place ads whoever they think is the right person. Okay, so what Nick was recommending is basically for every angle that you test, also have the different formats. So if that's UGC, if that's static, if that's a review style, if that's like replying to a customer, or if that's like professional, make sure you have like all of these different formats for all of the angles. Now this gets very complex, but obviously with AI and things like that, it's gonna be easier to test these, okay? And with Facebook's new algorithm, it's gonna choose what placements and what angles they think works best. For example, let's say if you're someone that only consumes UGC content and you don't interact with statics or like professional content, then Facebook's only going to show you UGC. But if you only have like your best angle on like a professional style or a static or something else, then it's not going to show that placement to that person, even though they could be your ideal avatar. Okay, so this is really interesting. And once again, like, we're not media buying for clients. We do media, we do like run ads for our own agency, but it's just really interesting. It's something that I took away, and I'm also going to share with our clients as well. The next thing, and this is more for people out there that are maybe like chasing the next thing, but there's just always more opportunities. At the end, there was a talk about telehealth and like a massive opportunity there. And you hear other people talk about these other things, and a lot of the time you're like, oh damn, I want to jump over here. Obviously you got to keep the main thing. But it's crazy where people are giving out about advertising going up and different things, and obviously it's happening, but there's just so much opportunity out there, and it's so interesting to hear different ways that people are making money. And there's many different ways about doing it. Okay, and then the last thing, and this is probably one of the most valuable parts about coming to these events. Sorry, it's quite windy here, but the views are absolutely amazing. But is connections solve most of your problems, or all your problems? Like, one of the guys that I was here with, on day one, he got a connection that got access to something that then solved one of his problems. Because a lot of the time in e-commerce, or when you're working with these different platforms, advertising platforms, payment processors, or even with suppliers, it's like most of the time the things that you want, you just can't get access to. You need that connection, being like, oh no, I'm referring him, it's fine. Okay, and when you have those connections, you're able to solve so many problems. And it's just coming to events like this, connect with people, and then just like help people out as well. And I made another video about that, so I'm not gonna go into it. But overall, that's it. There's a couple of things we took from the retention side as well, and obviously we connect with a lot of people on our end that potentially will become clients. But it's not all about that. It's about just understand the industry more, see where everything is at, because for us it's really important that we can also help our clients in different areas of the business. And it's also just inspiring to see the money some people are making. And obviously, I think every year you're in the game, you realize like, oh, that's really not that much money. Like, that's normal. But it's inspiring to be around people that are making millions or tens of millions, or have even done over like 100 million in sales. It's really, really inspiring to see. So I leave that here. I'm going to go in now and get my dinner. I want to say a big shout out to Nick and everyone at the Geek Out team. This event has been amazing. I'm excited to go to the next one in the future. Cheers.